Hey everyone, Draker here, and I'll be casting a 1 versus 1 match today on the map Xel'naga Caverns. Now we're here with Page as the purple Zerg on the top right spawn, and on the bottom left spawn we have SKS from OGS. Or is it SSK? I don't even know. Whatever. SKS, since it's capitalized, sounds good to me. As the red Protoss on the bottom left spawn. So this should hopefully be a fairly entertaining match. I'm not too familiar with Page, but any OGS game tends to be fairly good, so we'll see what goes on. Speed it up a little bit until we got some starting builds, since the very beginning of every match is pretty boring. Here we go. Now we got a gateway at 12 supply on the way for SKS, as he is now sending out his scout. And Page should be, he's at 15 supply now. He's either going to go for early hatchery since he's waiting, or nope, looks like, yes, he is going to be going for an early hatchery, 15 hatchery, which is fairly normal for Zerg to get an expansion around that supply limit this early in the game. Now SKS will see that expansion go down, so he'll know that Page has nothing to really defend against anything at the moment, as we do have Assimilator is now just finishing for SKS, so once the Cybernetics core goes down, which will probably be right after this gateway, that we will see some early stalkers, as now we do have SKS is doing some harass here with his probe, still scouting around, see what's going on, as we do have a spawning pool now on the way for Page, as well as an extractor. Now we also do have a zealot on the way for SKS, so as soon as that zealot's out, he should be able to kill this drone, as it is going to be getting trapped in this base momentarily. Now Cybernetics core is going down, fairly normal wall off here with the Protoss using the Cybernetics core now instead of doing a couple pylons and a gateway, or a pylon and a couple gateways, as that zealot is now on the way to Page's base, as he has another one on the way as well. So he's looking to try to get maybe an early good game in here, as he realizes that Page doesn't have anything on the field. As there are now 4 zealots are getting build. I was gonna say something else, but yeah. Anyways, they are getting built on the way. They are just about done. So he only it looks like SKS did one hit there with his zealot, and then he pulled away, so he must have known what was coming, as he is now trying to kill this gas block maneuver here by Page, fairly normal for Zerg, as he realizes that his drone was in trouble of dying, so he decided to put the extractor in there to keep a good eye for scouting for a few more seconds, and a gas block his opponent. Now we do have 2 more gateways on the way, as well as warp gate for SKS, so we might be seeing maybe a 4-gate push from SKS, as we do have metabolic boost on the way for Page, as he does have 4 Zerglings in front of SKS's base, and he looks like he's oh, what a okay force field. I was gonna say a great force field, but he managed to trap 1 Zergling and just destroyed him, as it looks like SKS is going for a proxy pylon over in the corner there by Page's base to warp in some units. As it now does look like he's going to be sending out this group of units. And does he see the Zerglings? Yes, he does see the Zerglings in time before they can get into the base to do some harass, as the warp gates are now just done. Now we do have a spine crawler on the way for Page, as he does notice the units are moving out. Now we do have 10 more Zerglings are getting queued up right now by Page, as that metabolic boost is just about done. So he's going to that metabolic boost is going to be a great advantage here against these handful of zealots that are on the way to Page's base, as Page's Zerglings do just finish, so he definitely has a good sized army here to defend against this, as he is now going to be microing them around. He needs to get the surround on these zealots, and he is going to trap them. Oh, what a great surround there by Page, as he is forced to pull off all his drones to defend against. Oh wow, defend against this by SKS, as SKS sends in a bunch more sentries and throws down a bunch of force fields, separating the drones from the zealots. And now SKS looks like he did trap his own units there for a minute, and now he's kind of stopped there for some reason, as Page has to pull off all his drones from his main base now to defend against this, as the Queens and the Spine Crawlers are hacking away at SKS's forces. Now SKS is still warping in units, building up his army here with that proxy pylon, which is a very smart move. Especially if you go to push out into opponent's base, you want to keep a good supply of units um, to reinforce your army. So a good proxy pylon by Protoss works great, as now he's able to kill that queen with that sentry. It's a great play there. But he needs to move in now before Page overruns him with Zerglings, as Page is just amassing Zerglings right now, waiting to attack as a force field do go down, and SKS is going to be moving into the main, and he traps all the Zerglings outside the main's base of Page, which is great force field placement there, as he force fields another one, trapping those Zerglings, and he has free reign inside Page's base. Page is in trouble now. As that force field should be done any moment now. We do have a bunch of spine callers in front of the natural, but that spawning pool is now done. So look at that one. Look at all those broodlings are going to be able to kill. No, just barely kills. Almost kills the zealot. As this hatchery is going to go down by Page, as Page has a huge number of Zerglings now, and he is going to be able to get the surround on all these zealots and sentries as the force fields are going down, splitting up some of the zealots, but it's not going to be enough, as the SKS did trap his own units there, and the Zerglings are going to be able to finish it off. But definitely a great harass there by SKS. He did a ton of damage with the handful of units he had. So yeah, that the damage is done. So I don't think he's crying about losing all those units. Now we do have a push going out here from Page with a bunch of those Zerglings, hoping that SKS has nothing to defend against this, but he definitely has a good amount of units, and he also has photon cannons on the ground. So it looks like the Zerglings are going to go in here, and they do realize that there's a bunch of units more just warped in, so he's doesn't know what he's going to do at the moment, as we do have tier 1 ground weapons are just about done for SKS, and this Nexus should be able to finish safely, as Page is not going to do any type of push here with his Zerglings. As we have another gateway also on the way. 2 more gateways are on the way for SKS, so he's definitely looking to mass gateway units for this matchup, which is pretty strong against Zerg, especially after the great harass that he did against Page. Page is forced to basically rebuild his base from scratch, as he did lose his spawning pool and extractors. Now, we do have a Roach Warren on the way for Page, so he's definitely looking to go mass Roaches instead of the mass Speedlings. He thinks the Roaches are going to help him, give him some sort of advantage, especially against these sentries, but I think he needs to go more into a Muta Ling build against SKS here. I think that would be more to advantage, be able to get a good surround with the Speedlings, and then have the Mutas for the AoE damage to finish it off. Now, it does look like he is going to mass in. He did warp in a few more units there, as he is going to be doing a push out to Page's base. Page did see that with the Xel'naga Tower, so he is forcing all his units back to his base, as the Spine Callers are going to go down. And I think they are going to be... oh, wow, it's a great force field placement there by SKS, but he's only going to be able to kill a couple of those units there, as he was managed to kill a queen and a roach. Killing a queen's a big deal. Page was going to pull off all of his drones, but decided not to, and now he is, as a few more roaches are finishing right now, and Page is just trying to get his drones out of the base, but he's going to lose all those drones. Wow, look at that. SKS is just picking those units off one by one. Now, we do have tier 1 ground armor also on the way for SKS, as the weapons did finish. Now, we do have 3 more roaches on the way for Page in his main, I think. At least he has 1 in his main, as the rest are outside. So if SKS can get good force field placement there, he should be able to do a ton of more damage, as he was not able to place those force fields good as he did there, though, trapping those roaches, trying to get the sentries away. But 3 more roaches come into play, and SKS is going to lose all these sentries, but the damage is done again. But luckily, Page did have his main buildings at his natural behind the spine crawlers, so he was able to defend against those. So the only damage that was really done was killing a bunch of those drones at the mineral line, which is really all SKS needs to do. Don't know why he decided to attack his back rocks there. That was I don't know, a little random considering, oh, it looks like he's going to build a base there. So SKS is going to look for his third base. As he does have Blink is just about done on the way, and he also has Tier 2 weapons, ground weapons on the way as well for his units, as he did Chrono Boost out, or Warp in a Stalker, not Chrono Boost. As now he is going to take his third base, so his income is going to be, his economic advantage is going to be huge considering all the drones he's been killing at Page's base. That's preventing Page from getting anywhere. Now we did have a Zergling just get stomped on there by SKS's Stalker army. And this Stalker army is going to be pretty good against these Roaches if he can micro them fairly well. And there is no Roach speed, as Roach speed is now getting researched. As he did notice there are mass Stalkers on the field. So if he can push out right now before the Roach speed gets done, he could do some more damage. As soon as that Roach speed is done, though, he's going to be in trouble with those Stalkers. Now, we do have Dark Shrine on the way, so we are going to be seeing some Dark Templars get warped in. As Page is now, looks like he was trying to micro somewhere, trying to decide what to do, as he did lose a couple more Roaches there. And we have SKS is just microing back and forth, trying to pick off units and buildings one by one. As he has a bunch of Stalkers now, and he is looking to do something, but it looks like he's just going to sit out his base and pick off stuff one by one. Which works, as now we do have Burrow on the way for Page. So that's actually going to work out to his advantage, as he can just split up his units, bury them, wait for SKS to pull in, and then flank them. Just, lift them up out of the ground from the front and back behind the enemy units and just straight up surround. And oh no, we have a ton of Speedlings on the field here from Page. Now he needs to be able to separate these and do a good surround on both sides of these Stalkers, and then come in from the front with the Roaches. And that's exactly what it looks like he's going to be doing. It looks like he's going to mass front in the Roaches, Zerglings in the back, as he is now looking to push out, as there are some Dark Templars on the field to be able to pick off those units one by one, as the blink does go off there by SKS, as he is now running away from these Zerglings, as he does realize he is in trouble. As he does warp in a bunch more Dark Templars, as he does have another proxy pylon on the way over here, and now he is getting a surround on by these Zerglings, but as he does now split up his Stalkers to this army of Page, and he has a bunch of Dark Templars are just picking off those units, but is not, yes, it is going to be enough, as SKS did lose a bunch of Stalkers there in the process. Now we do have 20 more Speedlings are on the way for Page, as SKS is warping in some more Stalkers here. That's a good handful of Dark Templars there, and I don't think there's anything to detect against it, as there isn't. So these Dark Templars are going to have free reign in Page's base, as Page is forced to pull off all his drones once again to deal with this, as, he realizes he could not do anything, as Page does leave the game. So there you have it. Definitely a great play there from both these players, as I was surprised that Page was able to hold in there as long as he did. I figured that first initial big push there by oGS that he would have basically left the game, but nope, he toughed it out, stayed in there for as long as he could, but he just couldn't. This was not enough to this constant pressure here by SKS. So there you have it. Game goes SKS, and I'll see you all next time.